Al pals, welcome to Big Al Presents Films with Friends. That's right, I took the chance and used the music. The film is the 1979 theatrical release of the film that led into the Buck Rogers series, Buck Rogers in the 25th Century, starring Gil Gerard and the lovely Erin Gray, whom I met. As you can see, isn't she lovely? And who is that handsome man with her? That's right, that is me in my real form. And just in case you're wondering, yes, I have met Gil. See, there's that handsome man with another handsome man. But I thought I'd stick with. Come on, let's face it. Who wouldn't want to have a beautiful woman by their side for a movie? Speaking of beautiful women and handsome men, thank you for joining us. And I'm all lost just looking at Erin Gray there. I have just totally lost where I'm at. But yes, Buck Rogers is the film. The friends are, of course, the lovely space warrior herself, Nanette of Netter's Network. How are you doing, milady, and what are you drinking tonight?
I am doing fine, Al, and I'm drinking water right now.
Oh, well, that's good. I have Diet Mountain Dew as per usual. Of course, also joining us on this space adventure tonight is Troy Buck Pacelli himself. How are you doing, sir? And I need to put us all back on the screen there.
There we go.
I was like, I was mesmerized by Erin Gray's beauty.
Well, I understand, man. You were saying having a beautiful lady by your side. I do too.
Yes, you do. And I like I said, got a little short story about meeting her that I'll get to. In a moment. We got a little time to schmooze as people come in.
Absolutely.
Did you say what you were drinking tonight?
I didn't say. I'm drinking a Diet Squirt grapefruit soda.
Squirt. They're still making Squirt?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because I know there's something now called Starry. Have you heard this?
I don't know this one. No.
It's something that showed up. It's like, I think it's a Pepsi product. It's called Starry, and it's like a lemon lime thing. I don't know. I'm gonna have to try it one day just to see what it is. I am an adventurous man by nature when it comes to food sometimes. But Buck Rogers in the 25th Century I loved this. I was crazy for this film and series when it was on, and still to this day I'm very much a huge fan of anything Buck Rogers. And I mean, it led me to my love of retro sci-fi because I started checking out the Buster Crabbe stuff and just loved it. Do you remember seeing it? Like, did you watch the series or see the film?
Very much so. Yeah, this was one of those direct responses to Star Wars, right?
Yep.
But they were going for the TV series, so there's a lot of parallels between Buck Rogers and Battlestar Galactica. Both were series that, in order to which is very much harder. They did not have the budget that feature films did. So They both released their pilot episodes as feature films first.
Right.
So
a lot of people forget that about Battlestar Galactica. There was a 3-hour. They released the 3-hour thing in theaters, which I never got to see in theaters. I wish I had.
Oh, you didn't see it?
I never got to see it. It never came around when I was because this was pre-driving Al. But Buck Rogers, I got lucky because it played in a local theater. And Mommy, will you take me to go see Buck Rogers? And she's like, okay. And had a good old time. And I did not know it was going to be a series. I just thought it was a cool film that I was going to go see, and I was all happy about the series and loved it. and then it changed in the second season, but I still loved it. It was a little weirder, but it was still cool. But before I go any further, let's welcome our buddies in the chat who may be here and who are talking, which is basically Satori Kagane. Deleted scenes popped in. He's not going to be able to join us for the film tonight, but there is a good reason. He's helping out with another cause. But I do want to say hello, Satori Kagane, handsome man. Why, thank you, Al. You're welcome, sir. I got to meet Erin Gray and Gil Gerard at a convention, and it was awesome. But with Erin Gray especially, it was great because on Friday nights, the convention had a special dinner meet and greet, and you pay X amount and you get a dinner and a chance to interact with the actors, if depending on how they feel and how lucky you are. Well, I get my ticket and I go to my table, and there's several little cards around, and they basically say, open seat, you pick it. Here's like one of the couple open seats left. I sit down, and I was like, I wonder who I'm sitting next to. Erin Gray. And I freak out, and I'm like, should I move? And I literally thought to myself, no, you will not move. You will sit here and you will be gracious, and you get to sit next to Erin Gray and eat. So yes, I got to sit next to Erin Gray, and we had dinner and a lovely conversation. Everyone at the table, it was a fantastic night. She is a lovely, lovely, sweet lady, and just a wonderful memory that I get to stash away in the old brain box. And then, of course, autograph session. I got my picture taken with her, and she was just a wonderful person to meet. And Gil Gerard, I don't think he was at the dinner, but I got to meet him, and I felt myself getting a little almost started to fanboy out. I think I was able to pull it back a little bit, but I look back and I'm like, I don't know if I'm wondering what he was thinking at one point. But I did someone gave him a scratch off for a lottery scratch off, and they couldn't find a coin. I had a coin, and so I lent him my coin to scratch it off.
Sure.
And then he gave me back the coin. I still had that coin to this day tucked away in memorabilia. I was like, this is the coin that Gil Gerard used to scratch off the scratcher. Odd little thing. But yeah, those are just a couple stories. But yeah, have you ever had a chance to meet any of the stars? Or because I know you've done cons.
Do you remember? I know that we were at a con that they were both at, but I don't think we took the time to meet them.
Yeah, I don't recall, because it's probably one of those ones where we were working security or something, so we didn't have the chance.
We actually had a number of opportunities to meet Erin Gray, although we didn't actually do it. Specifically because not only did she show up at cons, as a guest in relationship to, her character in Buck Rogers, but she also, if you worked conventions, if you were involved in, convention planning and stuff like that, Erin Gray was someone that you often would get in touch with to line up other celebrity guests for conventions.
Ooh,
she was in that business. So if you were getting, although we didn't...
She was like a liaison kind of.
Exactly. She, although we did security, that put us in, in the sphere of people who were putting on conventions, and they would go to her if they were doing, depending on what the theme of the con was, Buck Rogers, Battlestar Galactica, Babylon 5, and a number of other
shows that began with B.
Right, right. I was gonna say sci-fi cons, but I think she may have gone a little beyond that as well.
Yeah.
Gosh, I hadn't really noticed that all three of those specific ones start with B. You're right.
Like beers.
Leave it to Al to catch the alliteration, right?
Bears beats Battlestar Galactica from The Office with Dwight.
Right.
The B thing. Also, let's welcome Cedric Moss. Thank you for showing up.
Hey,
hello. I wonder why Buck Rogers was made in the first place. What was the point to the film? Okay, what was the point to the film, especially as a sci-fi movie? Did this type of setting mean or imply something that impacted the story?
Well,
why is Buck Rogers in the 25th century? If you don't know if you know the story, well, Buck Rogers is a character from back in the pulp sci-fi days of the 20s. I think 20s is where he kind of started, and then they made movies in the 30s and 40s, the TV serials. But Buck is a modern, today kind of man who, depending on the story, he's military, or usually he ends up being military, and here he's an astronaut with military training, I believe, and he gets trapped or frozen in time, and they don't wake him up for 500 years, so he's ends up in the 25th century. So it's like today's guy in the future, and hilarity ensues, basically.
Right.
Adventures await. There's a lot of different versions of the story. Like I said, I remember, I think the Buster Crab version, it was like a gas in the Arctic that knocked him and his friend. He had a friend, I can't remember what the guy's name was, but he had like the sidekick at the time, but they were suspended in animation, and they were found, but it was due to some kind of a gas, I believe. And then Martin Caidin, the guy who wrote Cyborg, which became $6 Million Man, wrote a Buck Rogers novel where it was some kind of like particle accelerator, if I remember right, and he kind of got blown apart and like stuck in atom. I can't. It's been so long since I read it, but they eventually were able to put him back together in the future, and he was in the 25th century. So, yeah, he it's just, that sci-fi setting of like Farscape was very much in the spirit of Buck Rogers. If a lot of people watch Farscape, I'm sure you guys did. Did you watch Farscape?
No.
You've never watched Farscape?
No. No, it is one of those ones that a lot of people have recommended to us, and it is on our list.
Yeah, definitely. It's today's astronaut gets thrust to another part of the universe, and it's that kind of thing. But it's similar. It's that modern man ending up in the future, and how will he?
Exactly. I did like the way the 87 film and series kind of dealt with it. It was
79.
I'm sorry, 79. Yeah, because 87 was the setting, right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Well, and it sets it up cool, because the theatrical. I love the beginning of this film, and we'll get to it in a moment here.
Right.
It's the James Bond opening with the beautiful women, like the dream he's having as he's in suspended animation, and they've got this really. I love the song. I know a lot of people are like, that song is kind of whatever. I love the song.
I specifically like
it's called Suspension. And,
I like the guitar solo that you used in your opening.
Yeah.
I don't remember if they actually use that in the movie, but that is the opening and closing that they use in the series.
Yeah, I believe it's part of the closing theme. I don't know if it was part of the closing theme of the film or the series, but it's That's where it came from. So it was just like a little section. I really chanced it because I
Yeah.
could not find a piece of music that I had to use that piece of music because that's Buck Rogers to me. So let's get everything started. Of course, the Cosby link is up top. You wanted to give a link, or do you want to?
If you don't mind, so if you guys were watching the chat earlier, I was Deleted Scenes was saying he wasn't going to be able to make it because he's going to be on another stream. That stream is Rambling Canuck is doing a fundraising karaoke stream tonight, and I'll drop that link, towards the end of tonight's stream if it's still going on. Everyone can jump over there. But what I did want to do is drop the link to the actual GoFundMe fundraiser that they are, that they're doing. So let me drop that in.
He's a YouTuber in need.
Yeah. He's a big part of the community, and it was actually a lot of people know Stone Loki is he started this GoFundMe, and because so many people have been, including myself and Netter, were helping out Rambling Canuck last year. He's trying to do what he can for this this guy in the community. So I dropped the GoFundMe. If nothing else, you can go and read the story behind it and everything.
Cool.
Yeah.
So Torrin says he's never seen this. He's seen Flash Gordon serials. He used to confuse it with the Flash. A lot of people do. They'll say Flash Gordon. It's like, oh yeah, the guy that runs real fast. No.
Yeah. Flash Gordon, very much like John Carter of Mars.
Yeah.
Also like Buck Rogers. That classic, 40s and 50s, generic
kind of
sci-fi.
In the same concept. Modern man.
Right.
In an unusual situation. Flash on another planet. Mongo that's trying to invade. Well, it depends on the version that they're doing. And Buck just, frozen in the
pulled
future.
into the future. Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, let's get this underway. The Cosby link at the top. I think we both have the same version that we're going to be showing.
We are, because I'm playing it right off the website.
Right, it's where I got mine. So
yep.
So starting at all the zeros. And this is the theatrical version. Once again, this is not the one that has the extra bit at the end that was on TV. So, in 3, 2, 1, play. Dun, 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 dun.
Right.
Universal.
I'm going to bring the volume down just a
little bit
because that's kind of loud.
But I love this. I love that retro sci-fi, but there's something about Buck Rogers that I've always preferred, even over Flash. Gordon. Let me add the Gordon, the distinction. Glenn Larson.
I think they had the same spokes guy for everything.
Yeah.
Because it was always the same voice.
Well, this is William Conrad.
Is it really?
Yep.
He sounds a lot like Orson Welles.
It does.
It does. William Conrad sounded like Orson Welles. I love that little short, stubby shuttle look.
Dun dun dun.
Dry shampoo used to as the makeup.
So clearly, this ship is a style of the space shuttle,
Right.
And although they're going with this whole suspended animation, cryogenic kind of situation, they absolutely could have at the same time gone with the idea that if they had some situation that put him on an orbit,
Right.
that takes him at relativistic speeds, he didn't even have to go into suspended animation. Couple weeks or months for him could have been hundreds of years, on Earth.
Right.
But
Pamela Hensley, and that is Pamela Hensley that they're scanning up.
Yep.
Gorgeous, gorgeous woman. And of course, the lovely Erin Gray.
And of course, the story behind it being that these actresses on these lights were having an absolutely miserable time because those lights were so hot. She said she even burned her inner thigh doing this scene. Gil Gerard didn't much care for it either.
Yeah, I'm sure it was.
They had the typical skaters pose at first,
yes,
and then move their legs around.
That woman right there would go on to star in Days of Our Lives.
Oh, okay.
As Tony DiMera's wife.
Ah.
I remember that. Like, I used to watch Days, and then I'm like, she looks familiar. And then I saw this again. I'm like, that's why she looked familiar.
Yeah.
You do have some very lovely women in this opening. I like they're wearing these like big old glasses too. A lot of them.
I know it's very 70s, late 70s, early 80s, but it's got that futuristic sensibility, right?
Yeah. Well, look, Silver LeMay. Of course, it's the future.
Exactly.
For 500 years, dreaming about women like this ain't a bad thing.
Right. Geek Flag says, and welcome, by the way, this song was actually released on the radio prior to this movie's release, and I think it actually charted.
Oh, cool.
Did it? Yeah.
I know it's Kip Lennon, who was the brother of the Lennon sisters.
Oh.
Was the singer for it. Now, of course, the music tells you this is evil.
Right. I mean, and this style of ship looks very much like a cross between a Star Destroyer and a Klingon ship.
Yeah, it does.
I wonder if
and a lot of the ship's designs that they used were like throwaway designs that were not used in Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah.
Especially later on when we see the starfighters, the Earth starfighters, were an original concept for the Viper that were not used because they wanted it to look more like an X-Wing.
I see that, yeah. I gotta say though, I am glad that the Earth Starfighter design got used because I really like this style of ship. Maybe because it's different from X-Wings.
If I ever get around to making the video I started making, which is my top 10 spaceships not from Star Trek or Star Wars.
Oh, yeah.
Because, the Thunderfighter, which is one of the names they also use for it, is in there, definitely. I love that fighter craft.
Let's just put a whole bunch of switches on the board. That'll work.
The little tube with the LED lights in it.
Yeah.
I want to know how he was breathing with that thing.
Well, I don't know for the production of the film, but the idea behind it is supposed to be kind of like a CPAP machine.
Mm-hmm.
Right, but there was no breath, and then suddenly there was breath.
Yeah, because he's breathing out.
Well, he got defrozen.
Right.
She was so great at playing the bad girl.
Yeah, right. Mine is, it's playing. Is it?
Yeah, my words are slightly out of sync.
Yeah.
And I'm playing it right from the link.
Me too.
Mine seems to be okay. Like, there's a fan theory that goes around because Henry Silva didn't play Kane in the series. They got Michael Ansara.
Right.
Some say that it's actually a different character, that's his brother. Because they have different temperaments.
Interesting.
I kind of like that concept.
And if Kane is a surname, that would work,
Yeah.
right?
Although Killer Kane was a classic character.
Yeah.
Well, so is Ardala. They used a lot of classic names, like Tiger Man, the big bald guy.
Mm-hmm.
There was a race called the Tiger Men.
Oh.
Anti-pain drug. Like it. They named the flagship after the planet. They're from Draconia, and the ship is the Draconia.
Well, I mean, the Klingon flagship was Konos 1.
True.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
really weird. I think the words are on point because of what you just said, Al, but the picture's off slightly. Like, they're a sentence or two behind
Yeah.
in the picture.
Is it super distracting? Mine seems to be fine. I don't know if it's... Maybe it's just the transfer.
No, he just got the injection on the screen, but the dialogue is way past that. He's laughing because he's doped up now.
Yeah, he's doped up.
Right, but the image on the screen is
Are
he
you a
hasn't
real
started
life
laughing
princess?
yet. Boy, is that an ugly headpiece.
Hi, CK. Welcome. Oh, Geek Flag had the toy of the Earth Starfighter. Man, I'd love to have one of those. You can get them now for like a couple $100, if not more.
I think they put her in the ugliest clothes. I mean, they're supposed to be kind of princessy and all that, but they're really ugly.
Well, it's late 70s.
Yeah.
You know, it's...
The thing is, though, she's got gorgeous hair if she takes off that headpiece.
Yeah, the headpiece is kind of...
Yeah, so she wears various headpieces throughout the entire thing now.
And they're all ridiculous.
wish there was something I could do to fix this.
Yeah, I even tried pausing and starting again, and it didn't do anything.
Doesn't change anything.
I'm going to try, like, refreshing my screen to see if it does anything. You'll have to give me a timestamp.
All right.
Okay.
If it works for you, then I'll try it.
Okay. What's your timestamp?
Give me a second. Timestamp is 12:21. Wait a minute. Is that right? 12:27.
I got 12:30, 12:31, 12:32.
Yeah.
He's stoned.
Did that fix it or no?
Yeah, he's just getting off the bio bed, and the words are synced up now.
And he's just a little loopy.
Now he's got his arms around two guys, and they're walking.
Yep. Got a great idea. How are we all going to
All right, I'm going to try it then.
Yeah, he thinks he's dreaming.
Even the ship is similar in Farscape. It's kind of like a little miniature. It's almost like a hybrid.
Hold on, timestamp.
13:35.
What is it?
13.
Well, sorry.
Okay, 13:41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47,
Launch.
49. He just took off.
Took off through the styrofoam. And I do believe Mego did Buck Rogers figures.
I'm at 14, 17, 18, 19, 20,
Yep.
22, 23, 24.
Okay, I'm there. There we go.
Yeah, that was weird.
All right. Sorry, everybody, but we should be all on track now.
You fixed it, Scotty, says Geek Leg. The miracle worker at it again.
Well, I figure I had nothing to lose by refreshing my screen, so.
Yeah. See, that's the other thing that I always loved about this, that he's from Chicago.
He's a Chicago guy. Well, this is Chicago.
And this takes place in New Chicago, right?
Yeah. Look at them collars. And see, the pride flag is in the future.
Yeah, right.
I'm going to say, I mean, realistically, white is not a good choice for a uniform. It's always going to get dirty.
Yeah.
At least an everyday uniform. A dress uniform, sure.
Won't you come home?
Come home. Because I guess his memory of him freezing is fuzzy too.
Yeah.
Hi, Chris Kent.
Hey, Chris Kent. Practically a foreign language. Now I love this cityscape. I think that's
Yeah.
brilliant.
It was, I think, a future expo, like one of those expos. Some buildings in that they kind of did some stuff with.
Doing good, Chris. Thanks.
Yeah, because he'd have been dead right there.
So this defense grid, this defense shield, it's an important plot point in this movie, but then they drop it in the series.
Yeah, this really doesn't become a thing.
Who are you?
She did have that command aura to her.
Yeah.
He gives that look.
Yeah.
The thing is, he's really like that in person too. He is very the double entendre is very appreciated.
And he's like, it's my airspace too. What are you talking about? The lack of an accent should kind of tip him off.
Nah, that would be too easy.
You definitely tell they only had a TV budget.
Yeah.
But 1979 didn't matter. Yeah, you can look at it today and go, yeah, it's dated and all, but
Yeah.
back then, it was awesome. Now, you would think if you had the ability, and this comes into play, if you had the ability to have a defense shield like that, wouldn't you be able to change the opening?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Like always shift it and have it never in the same place?
What did I do?
You know who the producers originally wanted for the role? Kurt Russell.
I could see that, sure.
Kurt Russell actually turned it down because he wanted to concentrate on a real movie career, and he knew it was leading into a series. And then the second season of Buck Rogers is when he got Escape from New York.
Oh.
I always liked Dr. Here.
Yeah.
I wish I had kept him around the second season.
Yeah, I do too.
I never liked that Admiral Asimov as much.
No, I didn't either.
I mean, he was okay. I mean, he was. I mean, I didn't hate him, but Ur was just cool. And he also got rid of Theopolis too.
Yeah.
Theopolis was
Which
awful.
means, why is Tweaky even there? He's an ampiquad. His whole purpose is to carry Theopolis around.
Well, he kind of became a liaison for Buck, I guess. Dr. Theopolis, also done by Mel Blanc.
I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, he did Tweaky and Theo. From what I saw, anyway, from what I've heard. See, that would have been a couple of great storylines to work off of, but they never did.
I know, right?
So yeah, Tweaky is R2 while Theopolis is C3PO.
Yeah.
Kind of. In fact, they originally were only going to have Tweaky go beady, 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 but they decided it was too much like R2.
Yeah.
So he does have dialogue. Not a lot, but it's there. Kind of like little snarky comments every now and then.
I wonder how uncomfortable the Tweaky outfit was.
I don't know, it couldn't have been too comfortable, but Felix Silla did a always did a good job with it. Just recently passed though, was I think last year.
Yeah. Yeah.
And him and Gil Gerard remain great friends ever since.
Yeah, that would freak me out too.
It's like, say what?
I think I will have that. L'chaim.
So Tweaky's Jewish?
I guess.
And the drink was green. Very
Yeah. Aldebaran whiskey.
There you go. The lady doth protest too much.
Yeah.
She does look good as a blonde.
Mm-hmm. So you could remove the whole as a blonde, and you still got a good sentence there. She looks good.
Yeah, that's true.
I do like that cityscape though. The little transporty pod that goes by. That would be a. I mean, we all think like, yeah, what if we were suddenly 500 years in the future?
Yeah.
You gotta think everyone I knew and loved is gone.
Yep.
Dead and gone, ashes. Several lifetimes.
I like that. What's it like outside the city? You wouldn't like it. Ah, the Democrats took over, didn't they? Well, it's Chicago. They've been running things for a while, yeah.
You know, Chicago's pretty much like it is today.
Yeah, exactly. So this much of it came true. Chris Kent said, as a kid, I never got why Buck was useful. Now I realize he's basically a man's man surrounded by Gen Z kids. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. And also later in the fight, you realize why he's so useful.
Yeah.
Eventually.
He was Air Force, I take it, before NASA?
I don't remember.
I mean, that's what they did with
He was a NASA astronaut is what that says.
Yeah, but a lot of those NASA astronauts were former Air Force.
Yeah, Air Force or Navy.
Yeah.
I mean, they all had They were pilots, basically. Because the character's name was William Anthony Rogers in Hair, but the original Buck Rogers was just Anthony Rogers.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see if the original, what was he? That's
okay,
chilly.
Now the sound is glitching on me. Okay, it's okay now.
You don't want to know.
Yeah, there are parts of Chicago that pretty much look like that, yeah.
You don't want to know. I like that. What do you say? You don't want to know.
Original was Army Corps of Engineers who found a mine with suspended animation
gas. Yeah, we were talking about at the beginning that was like some kind of gas. He was in I think it was a blimp. It's been a while since I've seen it. I think they are on YouTube now.
Sartorin, you're crazy.
Okay, stop banging on stuff.
I remember this being pretty scary when I was a kid.
And
it's Antifa.
What, those sounds are coming from nowhere?
Right. Yeah, he's been on the South Side before.
Did you know that on February 3rd, 2023, Mount Washington was 108 degrees below zero?
No, I did not know that.
That's chilly.
State Street.
Oh, it's at State Street.
Where's Mount Washington?
That great street.
Hey, Geek Flag. Where's Mount Washington? Is that Alaska or somewhere else?
So Torrance says, do you think this is where Clive Barker got his idea for David Cronenberg's masks in Nightbreed? Maybe. See, and this is another plot element that they completely dropped when they got to the series, and it would have made for some good storytelling.
Yeah.
You know, you live in this city. What about all those people out there? Why aren't you trying to do something to help them?
Why is he looking at the graves?
He's trying to find his parents, basically.
Yeah. He said, until I see, it's not real. Oh, New Hampshire.
Oh, okay. Ooh. Now, was that wind chill or was that ambient temperature? Not just any death, lingering death.
Yeah.
If I remember, in like the original concept of the story for the film, he was kicked out into Anarchia after the trial, but they ended up reversing it. Kung Fu.
Yeah. Well, but if he's, ex-military,
if he's military, he knows how to fight. He's got self-defense.
That's
That's right, Tweaky. Robot Foo.
And this nighttime shooting is, I think, very well put together, because you could do this on a set. You could do it, on location, and
it was on backlot, I think.
You can't tell the difference.
Yeah.
Here comes the cavalry. Buck was created by John F. Dial, whose grandson is Flint Dial, who worked on Transformers in the 1980s. As such, in the 1986 cartoons, we see Buck's costume used by the EDC meant as a crossover. Oh, interesting. Oh, that's cool.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, tell Flint I love Buck Rogers, big fan, always have been.
Yeah.
Got several versions of the book. I need to get a good version of it on.
Primitive, but it is the south side of Chicago.
Yeah.
All I found was that it was State Street, not State and whatever.
I know.
The other thing is they were supposed to be freezing, and none of them were freezing.
Yeah.
That's an awful big micro transmitter.
Right. Yeah. This is that the setup for why his being there is so important, because they are so certain of certain things, you know, that he's got to be there to set them straight.
I love her theme.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's almost pornographic.
Yeah. Flint's also friends with Frank Miller. Frank wrote The Death of Optimus Prime. Flint told Frank about the 300. Thus, the narrator in 300 is Dialis, named after Dialis. Oh, cool, cool.
I'll have to look through my box of books that I just got access to see if my collection of Buck Rogers newspaper stories is in there.
See, I remember this idea of a computer console bothering the heck out of me as a kid, because I'm like, you know, computers can be, you know, tampered with and can't be argued with.
Well, in the novel, in the novelization for the film, you find out one of these little round boxes is working with the Draconians.
Makes sense.
Dr. Apol, actually. But they didn't use that in the film.
It's too bad, because that's a great plot point.
Yeah. I love his voice.
Yeah.
No, it's so soothing.
It is. It's like, I like you, Dr. Theophilus.
And to think that that's the same voice as Tweaky and Yosemite Sam, that's hard to, you know?
I would love to be able to change my computer Alexa into a Dr. Theophilus voice.
Right?
That would be so awesome. Dr. Theophilus, what time is it? The time is now 12 o'clock, Buck.
Barring that, I'd like the voice of Zan or Orak from Blake 7. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
I'm being unreasonable. Yeah.
Yeah, their reading and casting went so really well. That's why they got the parts.
Yeah.
And they got along really well too. You sometimes hear like bad stories,
Uh-huh.
but everything I've heard, these two have remained good friends.
Oh
ever
yeah,
since.
I think they were really good friends.
And of course, like we said before, Wilma Daring, there's never been a strong female
Yeah, right.
in sci-fi.
That's right.
She's only been around since the 20s.
I mean, this was Jennifer Lawrence, right?
Yep, 1928. The novella Armageddon 2419 AD, published August 2028, An Amazing Stories.
See, and that's another recurring theme. This
Right.
whole thing of the computers being in control of things, that's exploitable.
And when you do something like that, you have pilots who don't know how to do a dogfight.
Exactly. I mean, it makes you realize that even someone like us, that have played video games would be better than these guys.
So Ken Larson designed New Chicago for Buck Rogers' 25th Century. And years later would design cityscapes for Star Trek The Next Generation.
That does not surprise me. I definitely see some similar conceptual similarities there.
The DNA, the
Yeah.
design DNA.
And see, that kind of design is all done from scratch, whereas these days they take, the city and then they do CG to just change some of the buildings.
Mm-hmm. Man, they were supposed to have Emperor Draco in this. He had several scenes, but everything got cut except for one hologram thing he does later.
And it's a shame because that's a character I would have liked to seen more in the series.
Yeah, because he was part of the merchandising. They figures of him and everything.
Yeah.
And you barely see him. Never forget a Knuckle. So what do you think of that headgear, Matter?
Yeah.
I don't. The headgear is better than the neck gear.
I kind of like the collar, to be honest with you.
No.
Yeah, I hate when modern sci-fi uses modern locations. Yeah.
Mhm. I used to have the game that came out of this series. I wish I
Oh,
still
yeah.
had it.
Hey, Evelyn. How's it going?
Hey, how's it going, Evelyn? Da, 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 da. I like that music. I think this was the first soundtrack I ever bought off of eBay.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I never was able to find it, and then I got it off of eBay.
Sure.
And then I got the
See,
CD,
he's
and
broadcast. He knows what's going to happen.
yeah, he could see what's happening. It's like these computers, your computers suck.
Yeah.
Ugh.
You know, this is a subtle thing. He knows the names of all of these pilots. Why? Because if you're going up, you know who your wingmen are.
Yep.
That just shows you his experience.
I like it. He's going to manual.
Yep.
It's like a little old-fashioned what?
Yeah. Doesn't matter if you understand them. His results speak for themselves.
No, I was expecting her to say that.
Oh, yeah. No, exactly.
Using football terminology.
Yeah, I just caught that too. Yeah.
Well, it's kind of something they has in common with the Flash Gordon film too. You know, using the Earth colloquialisms. Anybody here remember Space Above and Beyond? I do.
Oh, yeah.
The Hammerhead fighters. I only saw a few episodes of it, but I remember liking what I saw.
Yeah, a few wingmen lighter.
Yeah. Even it's a reused scene.
Well, and the other reason that football terminology is good for something like that is it the terminology is all applicable to strategy, combat
Right.
strategy.
Well, just like when he was talking to the one pilot, he goes 12 o'clock high. She didn't know what he
Right.
was talking about. Because, you know, if you
They
don't know,
wouldn't use. Well,
Because
they don't
clock
have a
is-
concept of a clock, you know.
just like I said, yeah, I love listening to records. Nobody knows what they, you know, kids today don't know what you're talking about. Because a superior fighter pilot, because he's obviously had expansive
It's very.
air combat experience. Yeah.
What
In fact,
Geek
he
Flag
doesn't
said.
have to deal with G forces in space, makes him even more deadly.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. Because, right, every fighter pilot has had to deal with that. But the idea of being able to turn on a dime, that's got to be incredibly liberating.
I do like the dress uniforms.
Uh-huh. The red sash and
the
all.
red sash, yeah, red sash.
But again, it's got that, marine
Hell.
blues type of uniform.
Now, you know what? Say what you will about her wardrobe. This is a nice outfit.
Yep.
No, I don't like the helmet, but I do like the rest of her outfit.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, this outfit actually made it into the action figure line.
I like the little smile she has.
Yeah.
He's looking at me. I love the outfits the other women are wearing. That
Uh-huh.
they kind of look like bad
Victorian.
Hollywood, bad Hollywood Victoria or even Renaissance.
Yeah. Well, even
Yeah.
the dance routine is very, courtly.
Yeah.
See what he did? He didn't take any of them.
Yeah. Boom, 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 boom. Like that.
It's like, I know what I'm doing. Trust me.
Yeah.
I wonder how long it took him to coordinate all of those people to do this dance correctly.
And somewhere there's got to be cosplayers that know how to do it.
Oh, sure.
What?
When people don't know history, right?
Yeah, exactly. Geek Flag, I love the outfit she's almost wearing.
He's like, that's the idea, pal.
I
It's like
love
giving a rose is going to make them look ridiculous.
Yeah.
I love those three as a unit.
Oh, yeah.
Tweaky, Theo, and Buck. I just think they work so well together.
I'm sure he should have called out Tweaky there too. He knows what he's doing.
Oh yeah. Like you said, he is a very manly man, which
Yep.
they probably aren't used to that much.
But he can't dance. Okay, how does he know this dance that he just saw once?
Well, he is kind of doing what they do, I guess. You know?
There is no way that was enough instruction for him to get that.
I know, but you know, for story purposes, you know, let's. It's called getting down. I remember thinking that was old when I first saw it.
Yeah. Well, she understands it pretty quickly.
Yep.
And Tiger Man's like, wait, what now?
Something they never really touch on.
Yeah.
They only alluded to it right here. Kane used to be. Kane's an Earthling.
Yep. And see, I would have liked more backstory on where the Draconians came from. Because, especially given the storyline we get in the second season, you have to imagine that the Draconians are probably from Earth.
Right.
Far enough back, anyway. He's like, he himself lived on Earth. We know there's a number of sisters.
Quite a few. See,
Yeah.
little Draco couldn't pump out
other
any
daughters.
I wonder how many mothers are part
Yeah.
of that equation.
Carlo Hesser, yeah, and Tom Christopher.
They almost didn't get Erin Gray back for the series.
Boy, she runs hot and cold, doesn't she?
She does, man.
There is no in between with this girl.
Checking his watch.
Re-entry.
Re-entry. It does make you think if there wasn't this whole like Ardala draconian thing going on.
Yeah.
I like how he points at him. Who played Tiger Man? I forget. Duke Butler.
Freezing my ball bearings off.
And they changed that for the TV version.
Did they?
Yeah, they took that out. They had him, I forget what they had him say. Let me see if I can find it.
See, this is what I mean.
She's back.
She jumps to conclusions like, girl, engage your brain a little bit.
Yeah, Twinkies line of freezing my ball bearings off in the theatrical version was replaced with the line, my micro discs are turning blue in the TV version. Still funny.
Now, see, that line, they make better pets if you have them fixed. Honestly, I always thought the Tiger Man was,
a eunuch?
Yeah. I don't know where I got that from. I don't think it comes from any dialogue or anything.
All she did was leave the room, take off her headpiece, and come back in.
Well, she let her hair down.
She didn't have much else to really...
Yeah, she can't take off too much else. Otherwise, we end up with an R rating.
Which I'm perfectly okay with.
Yeah.
I remember her on the show. Was it Matt? It was either Vegas or Matt Houston.
Oh, yeah.
I can't remember which one. Let me see here. Matt Houston. Oh, she was in Rollerball. Mm-hmm.
She was also in Playboy.
And Doc Savage. The Nude Bomb. If anybody remembers that one.
I do. Yes, you will.
She is very trusting.
Yep. Well, for all of her talk about how, manly he is and whatnot, she still underestimates him.
Yeah. Or she overestimates herself.
Yeah. Yeah, you make a good point. Yeah, I think Al was right. With 30 daughters, there's got to be multiple wives.
Yeah.
I sure hope so.
Or the draconian women are fertile for a long time.
Right?
Or they come out in litters.
Maybe, yeah.
It shouldn't the fact that he gave her the drug and now he's kissing her Shouldn't some of that drug be ingested by him?
No, no, you need to actually swallow and absorb it.
Yeah, to metabolize it, it would never have a chance to do that.
Because he specifically said, you know, don't take more than one. You'd need to at least take a whole pill in order for it to affect you.
And he dumped in several.
Yeah. Oh, right. This is why. Oh. Kind of makes you wonder why he didn't just fall over. Holy jeez. See if we can find your jammies now. So they put in the. I'm sure you caught that line. That was a voiceover.
Yeah.
And they're throwing that in there to make it very clear to the audience that they might have missed something.
Right.
But you have to believe that Buck had already suspected this to begin with.
Ow.
I know.
Helmet's very Vader-like. Also very Asian inspired. Because
Four wives and 29 children before his last wife died of exhaustion. Hatchet fighters? Yeah, it makes sense. Kind of looks like that.
Yeah. Little baby kittens.
Yeah. Poor Tiger Man's like, what the hell happened?
She could do worse than Tiger Man.
Yeah. It's not Gucci, but what the hell? Now, she's actually right here. They have the best opportunity right now, tactically. Right. Which is another great theme that I think they failed on, right? The same things that make Buck such a good strategist and exceptional. She has some of that too. They are kind of like kindred spirits in a way.
Mm-hmm. But you're right. If they didn't if Earth didn't have the Buck factor,
right?
Because of what he's doing here, he's extremely limits their capabilities later on.
This'll warm your tail. See, and even Dr. Theopolis, the logic is escaping him here, you know?
Right.
This is the same guy who already told you this. Did you forget that he said this? Don't trust them? Think it through.
Here's like, come on, Theopolis, you're a computer.
He's got a point there. Hey. Now he's getting it. Now he's getting it. Oh, that's why he's in a uniform. He knocked out somebody that they just found. Okay.
It's like, finally, all the pieces have come together.
Right?
1 + 1 + 1 = 3.
See, and my theory is that the Draconians are descended from, you know, some Chinese exploratory group. They left Earth when Russia and the United States started launching nukes.
Yeah, yeah, it's not a bad little theory. And I do like the fact he's holding the microphone to Dr. Theopolis.
Yeah.
And not his own mouth. Dun, dun, like that music. Dun, 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 dun.
And see, they have to do this now because the jig is up, right?
Yeah.
They really
they
don't
have
have time to wait.
Yeah, they have to assume Earth knows. Because of Buck.
Right.
I like he kind of waves at him. See ya.
Yeah.
Boom.
That one blew up right there on the land on the tarmac. See, when someone says something like that, I just want to say, "Oh, okay, well, then don't believe your eyes. Everything's fine, sir." Because obviously it's impossible for this to be happening.
I like that effect, just kind of vaporized.
There you go. Now you got it, girl. Give direction, coordinate the battle.
Yep. Use those pilot instincts that have got to be there somewhere. Spin move.
Bombs away.
And the cool thing, even design-wise, the Earth fighters look like good guys, and the Hatchet fighters look like the bad guys. Even just aesthetically, if you see these things fighting, you would put that together.
Yeah.
Now, I always thought it was funny here because this is an entirely different Tiger Man.
Yeah. Oh, shit! Obviously, that was cut out in the television version.
Yeah. Okay, they're not eunuchs.
Yep.
He definitely felt that.
Bottoms up. Kablam.
That is one hell of a way to get a colonoscopy.
Yeah.
That's all we get. He had so many other scenes where they cut him.
Yeah.
That's very reminiscent of Galactica effects.
Yeah.
I always thought that explosion on the surface. Or if anybody is wondering about Emperor Draco, it was Joseph Wiseman who played Dr. No.
Right. And like I said, when he goes, oh shit, that was cut out too. And then they added an ending that bridges the gap to the series.
Yeah, basically asking Buck to help us out, you know?
Yeah.
Which he originally declines.
Right. Well, it's ballsy. Taxi cab. So apparently this is a special two-seater version of the ship.
Did you notice that her helmet had Colonel Deering on it, but then again it didn't?
Oh.
Kind of a little continuity error there. Oh. Horns at the ball. And we will. Yes, you will. Several times.
Yeah. Probably not a conversation she should be having on an open line.
Well, hopefully she turned off the
oh yeah,
radio.
Whatever.
I remember seeing this in at a drive-in, and I took my recorder to record the songs off of the little speakers. It was the only way at the time I was able to get the music from it.
Yeah.
Where am I going? Like I said, Kip Lennon, Lennon's sister's younger brother.
It does seem to end kind of abruptly. There's no resolution at all. There's usually a film like this, there'd be... I mean, like, think of Star Wars, right? They had the ceremony at the end and whatnot.
Right. This one, it's kind of a fly off into the sunset thing, even though it's a fly off into Earth.
Right.
You know, the good guys have won, flying off, back home. It works, but it also works for a jump into a new series.
Yeah, that's true.
The little added scene that they gave, it's basically Hugh and Wilma coming to Buck saying, a guy like you with the knowledge you have, you could really help us out. And he's like, I really think I need to get my head together first.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay. And of course, he helps him out because he can't, because he's Buck Rogers. Come on.
Right. Well, and the whole shtick is they do kind of push the spy concept, right?
Right.
You don't have any background or history, so you can operate outside of the system and whatnot.
He can become anybody he needs to be, as long as nobody knows who that person was, which they did. He went undercover several times.
Yes, absolutely. Chris, thanks so much for stopping in. Yeah, it's probably getting late for you. But yeah, thanks for hanging out with us. I hope you enjoyed the film.
You know, our Pamela Hensley got second billing, so good on her.
Yeah.
Tim O'Connor, Dr. Here, Tiger Man, Duke Butler.
Tiger Man 1 and Tiger Man 2, right.
H.B. Haggerty.
See, and they didn't make it very clear that it was two different people, you know?
Right.
And honestly, I never even noticed that until now. I know that the one you saw in the TV series and the one that we saw in the movie were two different actors.
Well,
But then... Huh?
Oh, no, they eventually, she had a black guy they called Panther Man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they had Panther Man there for a while, too.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Okay, well, there you go.
Well, folks, that is Buck Rogers in the 25th century. I love it. Pulp sci-fi. I love it. Like I said, Buck Rogers, Flash Gordon, anything with that retro kind of history to it, I really enjoy. And like I said, this led into a series I dearly, dearly love to this day, and one of the kookiest vampires ever, and Buck turning into a satyr in season 2, and all kinds of cool stuff. If you ever get it, I don't know if it's out there right now, so I think it's on Tubi, or it was on Tubi. It was on Peacock at one time, but I don't know if they still got it or not. But it's out there if you get a chance to watch it. Buck Rogers made on a budget of $3.5 million and grossed $21 million in North America.
Not too bad.
Yeah,
and see, that was...
It did well. I mean, it did fairly well on its release.
And it's crucial that explains exactly why they did it, right? Because now you have all this stock footage of the space battles. You've got all these establishing shots of the city and a lot of different special effects, all the costumes, all the sets. Now you can go into production on this rather high budget otherwise series for no cost. You've already paid it off with this movie.
Yeah, and they reused a lot. Like I said, they reused a lot of effects, reused a lot of stuff from Battlestar Galactica that was still around, like scenery and things like that. So, and you know, Glenn Larson, that's what he did, was he created these great franchises that kind of resonated. I back then his name was like who'd be a good modern, like Joss Whedon. You know, you utter his name and, you know, you think about it. If you're a child of the 80s, like I was, or 70s and 80s. Yeah, it was a very expensive series, probably why they didn't continue it. It did actually rather well its first season, and it was doing okay in its second, but then they started playing with preempting it a couple times, and the viewership went away. And I think it was up against something that kind of killed it. If you look at the numbers it had in today's terms, it'd be like killing everything, but they only had like 3 or 4 channels back then. So, but
of course, there's the sequel to Buck Rogers, Duck Dodgers.
Duck Dodgers in the 24th and a half a century.
There actually is a novel written by the guy who wrote the novelization of the movie, Addison Steele. There is one. It's called Buck Rogers, That Man on Beta, and it's out there. I've got a couple copies of it because I was always buying. I was trying to get Buck Rogers books. There's several out there that are like odd, like something called like Warrior's Blood. You know, like weird things, and I could find them in bundles. So I was getting like. So I have like 3 copies of the movie and 3 copies of That Man on Beta, and it was always to get that other thing, like a couple versions of Armageddon with the Buck Rogers lots. And like I said, if anybody has a really nice Buck Rogers lunchbox with thermos out there, that's kind of a holy grail item for me right now. One of these days, I'm gonna pull that trigger. But that was the first entry in Futuristic February for Big Al Presents. In 2 weeks, we're going to be watching the classic, and I do use that term the way it should be used, sci-fi, Logan's Run.
Yes.
From 1976. This is a true classic sci-fi film. Been wanting to watch it for a while, and finally going to pull that. But before we do that, next week we're going to be getting a little bit catty again on Matters Network. So what's next week for
we're going to be watching Cats.
Yeah. This is what, the 1998.
Let's get prepared.
It's the good version.
Yeah, this isn't that horrible
Right.
CG one.
Yeah, 1998. It's kind of a pseudo staged version of the play, but it's like cameras were on stage kind of deal.
It's definitely the Dreamcast. If you have any interest in the Broadway musical, you will love this.
Memories. Da, 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 da. It's been a long time since I've heard a lot of the music from it, so I'm looking forward to seeing it. It's been a long time since I've been anything. My favorite Cats joke though is from the show The Nanny.
Mm-hmm.
Because Maxwell Sheffield was a Broadway producer who turned down Cats. And that's his big running joke throughout the entire thing is he turned down Cats. He's like, it's dancing pussy people. He just didn't get it, of course.
Yeah, that was and the thing I remember is I could totally see Cats being for a whole generation of people, especially guys, their entryway into the furry community.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yes, but these kitties wear spandex, not full furry suits.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it's a gateway drug, like you said.
Exactly.
But still, before we get to Cats, though, there's a whole week ahead. Tomorrow night, Aged Boomer.
Yep, Aged Boomer. We'll be talking about the Disney kerfuffles. We're going to be talking about.
Is there not a week where there isn't a Disney kerfuffle?
It's been kicked up into high gear this week. Universal's hot on their heels, but they've taken some lumps this week too, and probably have a couple of other surprises for you tomorrow. So bring you all your geeky news and a little bit of reminiscing about the good old days tomorrow at 8 Central. That's 9 Eastern at Aged Boomer's channel.
Awesome. Monday, I do think the Birdman is going to be returning. I think maybe keep track. He's been gone, but I think he's about ready to put back in full swing. Prayers for the Birdman's family. They had the funeral for his father-in-law today. But I think, there's still some stuff happening, so stay tuned. Hopefully the Birdman will be back in full swing. I'm not sure about Wednesday either, so let's see. I should have asked him tonight when I was talking to him. He called me tonight on his way home, so I was like, darn, should have asked. But yeah, so with the Birdman, that's Monday and Wednesday. I'm not quite sure what he's going to be doing, if anything, but stay tuned. Always good stuff on his channel. Anything else on Monday?
Well, not Monday. Tuesday.
Okay.
Tuesday, I will actually, both Aged Boomer and myself will be over on Mr. Matchstick's channel, where we will be getting caught up on that second season of Spectacular Spider-Man.
Cool.
So I'm not sure about the time on that. So make sure if you want to follow us, make sure you're subscribed to Mr. Matchstick.
Gotta thank the Birdman sent me a graphic novel this week. It's a Spider-Man thing. It's Craven the Hunter, the Last Hunt.
Oh,
Yeah,
I had the originals
he
of that.
He sent me the graphic novel because I guess he found it and it's one of his favorites, and he thought, hey, big.
That is an intense story. I think you're going to enjoy it.
So yeah, I'm looking for the right time. Like I said, got a lot. Need to find that like nice little block of do nothing time and sit back with a graphic novel. I've got a couple graphic novels on that I need to get to. So yeah, well, like I said, Wednesday, not quite sure.
Although if there's no Birdman and you're looking for something to watch on YouTube on Wednesday, I will be guesting over on Pacific 414. Previous guest of my channel. I'm going to be guesting on his on Wednesday, and we're going to be talking about our toy collections. Well, cool. Collections in general, but I'm probably going to focus on toys.
Oh, guess what? Guess what? I got access to thanks to my friends the other day. My 12-inch Luke Skywalker, Princess Leia, C-3PO, and then the R2-D2 that's kind of scaled with them.
Is the C-3PO still in really good condition? Like, is it still shiny?
Still shiny. I think. Now, I didn't. He was looking at it. Now, I haven't quite had it in my hand yet, but Leia does need to get her hair fixed. But I do have those little circular things that make her hair into a bun. So I need to figure that out one day. But,
there is look on YouTube. Toy Polloi has a video on how to do that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I have to kind of see. I haven't really looked at them. I'm not 100% sure, but I know they're there. So just knowing they're there kind of is a nice feeling. They
did a great job with the Carrie Fisher's features on that 12-inch Princess Leia.
Yeah, they're really cool. So nothing on Thursday.
Nope, still nothing on Thursday.
Friday, someone's getting drunk.
Friday I'll be getting drunk. So it's 9 o'clock Central, 10 Eastern. Last call over on my channel. Don't have a topic. Haven't gotten a guest lined up, but it'll be fun. Whatever we decide on.
Well, I do know. I believe it's the 24th. You have a fantastic guest for next month's schedule on March 24th.
That's right. I actually should probably get the the stream created.
Yeah, I should do that too, just to kind of get it up. Yeah, we're having a collaboration between Last Call and Films with Friends. We're going to be watching the 2 Eddie and the Cruiser films.
Yep.
Eddie the Cruisers on Last Call, and then we're going to be watching Eddie and the Cruisers 2 on Films with Friends the following night. So it'll be a nice little... And I myself, because it's March, and I love alliteration, it's Michael Pare March, and earlier that month we're going to be watching Streets of Fire, which has the lovely Diane Lane. It's got Rick Moranis, music by Jim Steinman, and some other great people. Just a fun little rock and roll fantasy kind of. I've been kind of revisit again. So yeah, that's good. And I've got some cool. I'll tell you some of the ideas that I'm kind of noodling around for some other months to come. I've been having some fun. Like I told you about animation for May. May.
Right.
Yeah. Definitely thinking about. I've got the possible for the other one. I'll run it by you, but looking to do heavy metal.
Yeah,
the original heavy metal, the cartoon film. So, want to thank everybody for joining us. Like I said, next week we're doing Cats. Looking forward to that. 2 weeks, Logan's Run. But of course, tomorrow it is the Super Bowl. My official prediction is Chiefs 28, Eagles 21. I don't know. I'm just putting out numbers.
Okay.
We'll see what happens, but of course the commercials are always going to win the Super Bowl. Anybody with any last words, Netter?
Well, you know what I always say.
That's
We
why I
can
always
talk
like
amongst
reading it.
ourselves, and it's all well good and fun. But it's so much more fun when you guys are joining us in the chat and you're dropping comments, questions, trivia, just being goofy. You know, we love that. And you guys aren't just friends for us, you're family. And it doesn't feel like we're separated by miles and miles. It feels like we're all in the same room together, just enjoying each other's company.
Yep.
And that's what family is. We just, you know, being together and enjoying each other's company like that. Thank you all so much for being here. We really do appreciate you. Because without you, well, like I said, we could talk amongst ourselves, but it's so much more fun with you here. So thank you again for being here.
I'd be just a guy laying here watching a movie.
Yeah. And
But,
like,
you know, Geek Flag says it well. Another
Yep,
great
yeah, he
Saturday
does.
night, hanging out with my buds, watching classic sci-fi, and eating Cheez-Its and root beer. And that's pretty much the theme, you know, just hanging around. Like I said,
absolutely.
2 weeks, another great classic sci-fi, and I've got some other stuff coming up this year, but you know, gotta change it up a little bit. But before we go, Troy,
Yes. If you don't mind, I'm dropping a link right now.
there you go. That's why I went to you.
Yeah. So Rambling Canucks special karaoke for 24/7 Fusion. Raise some money for somebody in need. Go check it out and tell them that we sent you, okay? Super appreciate it. And that's
Yeah,
all I
definitely,
got.
you know, always have it. Emily Hampton's like fun movie. It is that, and that is it. It's fun. It's not the greatest movie in the world, but it's a fun movie to watch with some friends, and that's what we always try to pick out something fun to watch with our buds.
Yep.
Hope everyone has a wonderful Sunday. If you're watching the Super Bowl, great. If you don't, hope you find something to enjoy. I'm going to look for something different. I don't watch football. A few things I've been watching. I've kind of hold that Babylon movie. I don't know why I'm interested in watching that, but also a couple of rom-coms. I saw that new rom-com with Ashton Kutcher and Reese Witherspoon. Meh.
Oh, yeah?
It's okay. It's okay. It's you know. I might do a review of it because you know it's big stars and it's on Netflix.
Sure.
But take care, everyone. Love you all, my friends. Time to put the root beer and Cheez-Its away. But keep them cold and fresh for another day.
Yep.
Take care, everyone.
Take care,
Bye.
everyone. Bye-bye.
Night.